What's going on, you guys? Welcome on back to the channel. Now, Daemons of the Shadowrealm just had its big premiere episode, and I have been very much looking forward to Daemons of the Shadowrealm solely because me and this series have a little bit of a complicated history. And what I mean by that is I have tried now on three separate times at this point to get into the manga and experience the story. But every time I've tried to get into the series, I always stop at chapter one. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it was just the paneling or like just the art or what was going on with me, but I wasn't connecting with the story at all in the manga. So when the anime got announced, I was like, okay, I'm viewing this as my last chance really getting into the series because if I don't like the anime, then I'm not gonna, then the series is just not for me at that point, right? So the anime's finally here. I sat down to watch the first episode and I loved it. Everything that I felt like I had a problem with in the manga feels like it was rectified in the anime. It was such a good premiere episode. The only problem I really have with the episode, I guess we'll just get that negative out of the way now. The only problem I really have with the first episode is that it's not like a double episode premiere, right? You know how a lot of anime, like they kind of have like a 40 episode or 40-minute premiere or something like that. Like I know Sentenced to Be a Hero just had that recently. So I like those a lot more because you're able to get a little more deeper into the story and you're able to experience more before you have to wait till next week. That's really my only big complaint is that it kind of ended in the same spot where I always got stuck with the manga. So that was really my only complaint is that it kind of felt like it went kind of fast, right? It kind of felt, but I understand too at the end of the day why they're kind of pacing it the way they are because since this is a 51 chapter manga that's monthly, they have to be strategic with how they're doing things, with how they're putting out episodes, I feel like. So that makes a lot of sense to me. But enough about that. Let's just get right into the episode. So, first things first, like when they did the birth of the two children, like Yuru and Asa, I thought that was actually a really interesting moment because at that point, like I'm pretty sure the kid was either like Asa was either like swapped out or something like that because later on in the episode, like the real Asa shows up. So like the person that we've seen Yuru essentially form an attachment with, thinking that's his sister all his life, that wasn't her. That was somebody completely different. That was honestly really cool. Like the fact that there's some like secret stuff going on within the society, something's going down. I don't know what, but clearly something's going on in this village because and like what I like too is the insane reveal that this story doesn't take place like in the past, like you would think, kind of like a Demon Slayer or something like that. This takes place in present times, right? And like I love the cool little like foreshadowing of it when Yuru's hunting for that bird and he looks up and he essentially sees like chemtrails from like a plane, but he thinks it's a dragon. That's such an interesting thing. Like Yuru for like pretty much all of his life probably thinks he's been living in like ancient times or something like that because he's never left the village or anything like that. So many people that are in the village have essentially never left the village at all. So they all probably think they've been living in like ancient times and stuff where dragons exist. They've been hearing all these stories about dragons, and then everything falls apart, right? Everything falls apart immediately when we essentially get the big attack on the village. Like you're seeing all of these helicopters roll in to find Yuru. You're seeing like the straight up just attack on the village, which I thought was kind of insane. Like so much crazy stuff was going on, and then Dara, the guy who you think is just a merchant who comes in from like the from I guess down from the village. You think he's just like a little merchant guy. No, this dude can scrap. This dude can like essentially took somebody's gun and was able to just like lay everybody out. He was essentially able to take so many people out. That was cool to me. Dara is immediately such a cool character, but I am worried about Dara because Dara gives me the energy of one of those characters where he's a mentor character, I feel like. So I have a feeling he might get picked off at some point. That's something that you can expect with a lot of these shows. If you see a character like Dara, right, who's essentially teaching the protagonist about the world, like, I feel like he's just going to get taken out at some point so that way it can further the development of Hiro. So I'm already attached to Dara because he's such a cool character already. So I feel like when his inevitable demise does happen, like, it's gonna hurt. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with him, right? Especially since he's the reason why now Yuru is able to have his own daemons. So looking forward to seeing what goes on there. Oh, and another thing too that I want to bring up. I love where Bones is now, like, as a studio. For the longest time, Bones, especially with My Hero Academia, like, the biggest problem that I felt like like My Hero ran into was the censorship, right? But in recent times, that's been getting better. So the main thing that I was wondering about going into this is I knew in the manga there was a character who essentially had like this daemon that like chomped people, that gobbled them up, right? And it essentially is splitting people in half. Like, their heads are they're getting cut off from the bites. They're getting split in half and stuff like that. So I was wondering how Bones Films was going to adapt that into an anime. Like, would it be censored? Would they like cut away? No, they don't cut away. You essentially see like people getting like bit in half. You see a poor girl's mom's head get like chomped off. Like, you see the girl just like pass out from the trauma. Like, they do not censor anything. They didn't really censor anything. I loved that. I love the fact that they went out of their way to stick this close to the source material. Like, that's the kind of stuff that I like. And that's also what I was worried about too, though, because of the history of Bones. I was like, oh no, this is probably going to get like censored to all hell. Like, you're not going to be able to see like really anything, and it's kind of just going to like mess up the material. No, like, the fact that they don't censor it actually makes the adaptation 10 times better, and it makes me love the adaptation that much more because they're sticking to the source material. That's awesome. I love that so much. And dude, when Yuru actually summons his daemons right and left, I immediately like them so much more than in the manga. They already feel like they have more personality to me, just in like the one line each of them has, right? I think it for me, a lot of what this series needed was voice acting for me. Like, a lot of my problem with it was I was reading it, but I didn't have like the voices. I didn't have anything. I didn't have like the music or anything like that. So getting to experience it now with voice acting, with the OSTs, like with the animation, it all just feels so much better to me. It feels like such a better experience than from when I was reading it in the manga. And now I can safely say I'm going to be essentially watching this now week to week. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to see where the story goes next. And honestly, man, I think I am going to make this kind of like a recurring thing on the channel to talk about. Like, I was wondering if I should make content on it because I didn't really know if I would be invested in it or not, especially since I've dropped the series 3 separate times. But after watching that first episode, man, I think it's safe to say I'm going to be talking about this series a lot more, especially since it's 24 episodes. That's the thing that I'm most excited about, but also the thing that I'm worried about because, as I alluded to and talked about earlier in the video, the manga is monthly and there's 51 chapters. So what I'm worried about is, are they going to run into essentially a Fullmetal Alchemist situation where they essentially run out of material and they have to go anime original? That is the only thing that I'm worried about with the anime. I'm worried there's not enough chapters built up yet, but if they're doing 24 episodes, they clearly have a plan for handling this material. And if I think with this first episode, they really only adapted one chapter. So if they kind of just go one chapter like per episode, and they just stick very close to the source material like they did this episode, but also expand on things, which they also did, like, I think they'll be fine. So that's actually really good. And honestly, man, I'm very much looking forward now to talking about the rest of this season in full. This is going to be fun. This is probably going to be the longest anime that I've talked about on the channel, but I'm looking forward to it, man. I think this is going to be fun, and I hope you guys will join me for the ride. Again, though, sorry if this video kind of felt a little bit disjointed. I literally just watched the episode, and I really want to just record this video and get my thoughts out there. The next video will probably be a lot more kind of like focused, because like, and also a lot of the reason why this video seemed a little bit more disjointed too is I've tried reading this same material 3 times, so I kind of had the gist of what was going on, but after everything after this, I'm anime only for. So very much looking forward to seeing what goes on next. But I think that's going to do it for me. Let me know what you guys thought about the premiere of Daemons of the Shadowrun down in the comments below. Did you guys feel the same as me, where you've tried to read the manga but you just couldn't get into it and you needed the anime? Or you're someone who's been a fan of this for years since it came out? Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, I'm going to talk to you guys next time. Bye.